Hey, so Master Worlds are in about 8 weeks, so I wanted to make a video if you're doing it or you're thinking about doing it, how to get your body in the best possible shape and really prepare for the competition from 8 weeks out. And you can kind of use this framework for any competition you have going on. If it's like a local one, we usually get a lot of Nagas and grappling industries around where I live in Massachusetts. So let's dive into it. So when you're trying to design a strength and conditioning program for a competition, you really want to look at what are your weaknesses, specifically if the weaknesses are going to make you vulnerable in certain areas of the competition. So what is that for you? Are you weak? Are you like just physically weak? You're not a very strong person. You don't want to have good technical skills, but you're easily bullied around someone who's much stronger than you. Does your cardio suck? Do you constantly get winded? Do you struggle with recovery? Are you slow? Maybe technically and in jiu-jitsu smart-wise, you know what to do, but sometimes you're just slow to the punch and you miss your opportunity. You tend to get hurt less. So you're always banged up, you're always injured. That's something that we want to address. So within the 8 weeks, we really want to prioritize whatever you're weak to and try to improve it as much as we can. Now, when it comes to the jiu-jitsu training, this is how I was always taught getting ready for competition, is you want to design your A game. So what are the best things that you do? And then usually how I was taught is that you want to have maybe 1 or 2 options in every single position. And then when you go train for a competition from a jiu-jitsu standpoint, jiu-jitsu classes, roles, you want to really work the A game, not really give an inch. And so you can really perfect that A game so you'll be very comfortable when you go competition. A lot of gyms, we start on our knees or we start on guards. So some good training partners in classes who are willing to stand up for you and have a more intense, say, competition like round. And then when you do this, really think about tracking points, because you're not always thinking about points, and you may do things that aren't things to do in a competition. Strength and conditioning portion. So I will at least try to commit 2 or 3 days per week to strength and condition. I actually do this for people. I design people customized strength and conditioning programs, and then we check in every week. I answer all your questions. I help you correct your form. If you're interested, I'll put a link below. But like I said, I would at least commit to 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days to strength and conditioning. Although we want to address your weakness that we talked about before, I'm a big believer in concurrent training. So what that means is we're always going to work on everything, so nothing really gets nagged behind. Power, strength, muscular endurance, mobility, conditioning. The weakness that you feel like you have, we really want to prioritize that. Make sure that we focus on maybe a little more intention. Maybe have that within each workout. As a training template that I really like, works well for my online clients. So it's a lower upper body split, and then the third day is either going to be a full body power workout, which I'll go over, or a cardio workout. So if you're someone who's like, oh, my cardio sucks, that third day I would definitely make sure that you do cardio. If power is your main goal, muscle building, strength, being more explosive on the mat, injury prevention, I would do the power full body. So let's break down the lower body focus workout. So we're going to pick a heavy deadlift or a heavy squat. When you're picking these exercise variations, it's really important to make sure that you pick exercise variations that are joint friendly for you. They're not going to really bang up your joints. We don't want to get more hurt as we're training for the competition. So for me, deadlift wise, I like the trap bar deadlift. I like the sumo deadlift. From a squat variation, I like Zercher box squats. I like safety bar box squats. So we want to work up to a heavy set of 3 to 5 reps with great form. We're not ego lifting here. We need great form and control as we push that intensity. We don't want to get hurt. Make sure you rest for at least 60 to 2 minutes here. The goal is to get strong with this movement, not to get ourselves tired. So don't rush through the rest. Then we're going to pick a single leg variation, and we're going to do it for 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. So same idea as variations that you're comfortable with that don't beat up your joints. So reverse lunges, elevated split squats, side lunges. And then we want to do a glute or hamstring specific exercise. So that would be back extension, hip thrusters, leg curl variations. Single leg exercises, I think I said I'd pick around 6 to 8 reps. With the glute and hamstring, we want a little higher reps here. We're going to hit maybe 10 to 15 reps for 3 to 4 sets. And then so next we're going to pick an ab exercise. So things that I like a lot would be side planks, planks variations, dead bug variations, ab fallouts, single arm bombs walks. All those are great options. Then we're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes working on our power capacity. So we're going to do short intervals of 5 to 10 seconds with about a minute to 90 seconds of rest. from a joint-friendly variation, I love the air bike and the rower for this because it's very joint-friendly. You're using your legs and your upper body at the same time, much like jujitsu. And then that's your first workout. So the second workout is going to be an upper body focused workout. So we're going to do a heavy a heavy press variation. So again, we want a press variation that's not going to beat us up. So if the bench press beats you up, it shouldn't be a barbell bench press. I know for me, I feel good with like barbell floor presses, dumbbell floor presses, pretty much any dumbbell press variations, landmine press variations, and same idea with the lower body exercise. We're going to work up to a heavy set of 3 to 5 reps. Make sure we're resting properly, like I spoke of before. Then we want to do either a push-up variation or a landmine variation for 3 to 4 sets of 8, resting for about 60 seconds. Then we're going to pick a row variation that you like. So, I would probably say the seated row is a great way. If you're new to lifting, a seated row is a great variation because it's hard to mess up. But other row variations I like would be a ring row, a one-arm dumbbell row, a one-arm cable row, a bench row. And then we're going to superset that with a high rep cable face pull for 20 reps. And we can end with some direct arm, shoulder, or grip work. So if you have certain weaknesses, you might want to address them. So if your grip is weak, maybe you're working on some farmer's carries. Your arms are weak, maybe we're just doing some like bodybuilding style stuff like bicep curls and tricep extensions. We're going to end with a 5 to 10 minute finisher. Basically the same finisher we did on day 1. You can do the same exercise variation. So if you use the air bike on day 1, you can use the air bike on day 2. Or you can pick a different variation. So sometimes what I like to do is on the first day, lower body day, I'll do a lower body base finisher. So for me, that might be an air bike. And then on the second day, I might do an upper body base finisher. So maybe I'm on the rower or I'm doing rope slams or medicine ball slams. Third workout. Now this, again, like I said, this depends on your goals. So what I would probably do is if your main goal is, hey, I need to improve my condition, that third day would be a conditioning day. One or two things here. I would do a zone 2 day. So that's when I do 30 to 60 minutes of zone 2, keeping my heart rate between 120 and 150. And you can do any exercise that you like that's not going to beat you up. So if you can jog here, that's fine, just as long as you're staying within the heart rate range. You can go bike, elliptical, rower, like again, anything you want. I get bored of cardio. I hate this version of cardio, so I like to do circuits. So I might go like 3 minutes on the air bike, then 3 minutes on the rower, then I might do like a sled drag for like 100 feet and just repeat that for 30 minutes. Again, keeping my heart rate between those rounds. Another thing that you can do is say you feel like you have good cardio, but your muscles seem to burn out. We can do more GPP work, and that's what would be maybe I'm really focusing on things like sled drags, carries variations, and I might do that in a circuit for 30 minutes. Now, if building your cardio is not a top priority, say strength explosiveness is your top focus, instead of that third workout being a cardio day, I would do a full body dynamic effort day, which is a power routine. So here is the template that I would recommend. So I would pick one lower power exercise. So pick exercises that aren't going to be up our joints. So if you have knee issues, maybe you don't want to do a bunch of crazy jumping. But low body power might be box jumps. It might be jump squats. It might be skips. It could be kettlebell swings. It could be short distance sprints. Could be short distance sprints with a sled. We want a very little amount of work with moderate rest, say like 30 seconds to 60 seconds with multiple sets. At least I would say 5 to 8 sets here. And the goal of this is to use as much power and explosiveness, not to build fatigue. So for example, if we're doing jump squats, we're not going to do 10 jump squats. We want to do like maybe 1 to 5 because we want to be able to display an absolute power and then rest and repeat that intense effort over and over again. For upper body, I like a lot of medicine ball throws. So medicine ball slams, medicine ball rotational throws, medicine ball chest passes, different plyo push-up variations, some landmine power stuff that you probably see me do if you follow me, like landmine clean and press. Lower power and upper power. Then after that, we're going to focus on building some movement capacity. So we're going to do a lower body strength exercise, upper body strength, push. So that'd be like some type of push-up, press, some type of upper pull. It could be a chin-up. It could be a row variation. We're going to add another core exercise in there. And then we're going to finish with another 5 to 10 minute cardio finisher in there. Say 1, 2, and 3. Now let's Now, if we're going to really improve our performance, improve our ability to really display our best game at this tournament, we want to make sure that we prioritize recovery. So the basics, these are the fundamentals, is get to bed at 10 p.m. earlier. If you can't, just move on to the second one. Try to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Vice versa. Say you can't get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, but you can get to bed before 10 p.m. Get to bed before 10 p.m. Have enough protein and calories to support your recovery. I don't like cutting weight for competitions because you're purposely under recovering because you have to cut calories. Ideally, when we're in like a training camp, we want to be able to have enough protein and be in a caloric maintenance or a surplus, so we have a ton of energy for our training. Have carbs around your training or at night. Those are the best time for carbohydrates. Get sunlight daily. That natural vitamin D is going to really help with recovery. From a supplement standpoint, I'm huge. There's a bunch of supplements you can take, but one, like 2 or 3, I would definitely make sure you take is vitamin D daily. A magnesium supplement. I prefer magnesium oil or over oral. And then I would maybe take a fish oil. How to adjust your condition through the 8 weeks. So when I was talking about the finishers, I would change the finish a little bit. So the first month I would do those really short interval based finishers, like 5 to 10 seconds hard, like I said, 69 seconds off. And that's really building some explosive power and the ability to recover from that explosive power so you can repeat an intense effort over and over again. It's going to give you really good endurance. But the next step, so after the first month, I would switch it up, and what we're going to do is go 30 seconds hard, rest for 90 seconds to 2 minutes, maybe do this for 3 to 6 rounds. Now what this is doing, this is teaching the body to, we already built the power, we want to be able to sustain that power for a long period of time, and we want to recover enough so that we repeat that intense effort. So when we get to longer intervals, what's very common is someone will go really hard for like 5 to 10 seconds, and then the rest of the interval, people are going super slow. Now what we want to do is we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are going at the fastest pace we can, but we need to be able to maintain that for the full 30 seconds. And then over time, we're trying to see if we can increase that pace. This is where machines can be very useful because they usually have some display that can help you gauge your power output. So for example, the air bike at my gym, it has like a watt at the top, so you can look at that number and make sure that you're maintaining the same power the whole time, which is super helpful. And then you can actually track that number through weeks and months, and if that's getting higher, your condition is going to be crazy. So that's how I would progress your condition through the 8 weeks of the camp. A few tips as you get close to the competition. 3 to 7 days, I would tape off your intense training. I would probably stop lifting weights. I would still go to the gym, do your dynamic warm-up, maybe do some power exercise, some mobility exercise, but I really wouldn't do much strength training. You can do it, but I would go definitely a lot lighter and just kind of focus on the movement. You don't really want to stress the muscular system, and you don't want to stress your CNS, which is like your brain. And you'll just end up being a little slower for the competition. Competitive roles, you should probably back off the week of the competition. Like, it's not going to help you. Like, you're not going to learn probably any new techniques that you're going to be able to pull off in competition, and rolling hard isn't going to give you any extra benefit when you're getting so close to the competition. So that's how I would program a training camp. I hope this was super helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to help you get ready for the any training camp, so if that's the Worlds coming up or any grappling tournament that you're trying to get ready for, again, I'll put the link in the and you can hit the link and sign up for my coaching.